Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I am doing casts of ASUS Republic of Gamers Assembly Winter 2012, and this is game 3 between Stephano and AcerElfi. So we've got, the map is GSL Daybreak. Obviously there is the supply depot stopping the wall off. It's a 2-player spawn map, so there's only 2 possible spawn positions. And it's got really large rush distances until these center rocks are taken out. Good coverage of the Zelnaga towers, and a third which is relatively easy to take but can be quite difficult to defend if there's kind of 2-pronged aggression. So that's the key things of the map. So let's introduce the players. We have got Stephano down in the bottom position, and bottom left really, and we have Elfi as the red Protoss in the top right. Now, if you haven't watched game 1 or 2, this is game 3, so go and find game 1, it's on my channel. You should be able to find it pretty easily from this, and then go and watch game 2, and then come and watch game 3, because everything I say from here on out could include spoilers, so you have been duly warned. So click pause on this video if you haven't watched the first 2 games. Now, Stephano did lose game 1 to Elfi. Elfi did some amazing play in game 1, just built this massive death ball off 2 bases and just went and killed Stephano. And game 2, Stephano brought it back to level the series up to 1-1. He amazingly defended Elfi's 2 Stargate pressure and just really went on to crush everything Elfi did when he went on to try and do a 7-gate robo with some air units thrown in off 2 bases. So really, this map will decide what happens. It is 1-1, it is a best of 3, so the winner of this will be advancing out of the quarterfinals and into the semi-finals. So we've got a spawning pool coming down for Stephano here at 15, so relatively standard. Elfi going for this pylon block on the natural base of Stephano, preventing that hatchery coming out early. In the meantime, Elfi is getting out that forge fast expand, going for a nexus before for forge build, so he's going for this greedy build. He knows that he's got to win this game to get through to those semi-finals. He's got one up on Stephano. Did win the first set as well. First game rather. And so obviously if you win the first game, you've got that slight psychological advantage. Although Stephano is an amazingly good player. Just gone and taken his third first. That's the greatest way to deal with that pylon block. Just say, yeah, take my second base. That's fine, I won't take that just yet. I'll just go and take my third, because I was going to do that in about a minute anyway. So these Zerglings are out. They're not going to attack that pylon. They're instead just going to go in because they've seen that there's no cannon down. And I don't actually know if those Zerglings will be able to get over in time, but they may just be able to. I mean, it could be quite close, but if those Zerglings get in, they could wreak havoc within the base. And Elfi just realising now, hang on, this Overlord has scouted, there are 4 Zerglings out, I better do something here. So just getting that second pylon, and is probably just going to have to drop something. Waiting now desperately for the gateway to be able to come down. And here comes the Zerglings. The cannon isn't actually going to go down, but bang, there goes that second gateway. Amazing timing by Elfi there. Couple more Zerglings, a Queen and a Drone managing to take out this pylon at the natural of Stephano. And actually, those 2 Zerglings did manage to get through. They managed to force the gateway was cancelled. Now, these 2 Zerglings can just eat away at this nexus. It will take them an extraordinarily large amount of time to kill it, but eventually they may just be able to. So, that is, of course, assuming that no probe does harass them or anything like that. Now, the second base of Stephano is now down. The third base is about a quarter done. If we take a look at Stephano's main base, just transferring some drones over. Only got the spawning pool up yet. Absolutely no gas. Meanwhile, Elfi has already taken the 2 gas and is taking heavy damage to that nexus from the 2 Zerglings. Not, but 1 probe does get sniped down, and that is actually quite a nice little win for Stephano there. Every probe in this early game is really quite essential. Not essential, that's a bit extreme, but very useful going into the game. Obviously, 1 probe over its life from this stage in the game will mine an awful lot of minerals. So obviously just sets back all of Elfi's timings fractionally. And now we have got this Zergling diligently scouting around for any kind of pylons, and that's really what a lot of Zerg players forget to do when they take this fast third. They don't just check around everywhere just to make sure that there is no pylon there, either for warpins or for cannons. Now, the third base for Stephano has just finished. Meanwhile, Elfi is just slowly getting up all of his probes, getting that saturation done, getting warp gate tech out, not actually chrono boosting it though, and Elfi's actually supply blocked right now, so Elfi amazingly was supply blocked for quite a while there. Now, one robotic facility going down, so Elfi going again for that one robo gateway build that he used very, very early on in the first game. I think it was one gate robo he went, and he goes with the warp prism with it. And although he didn't do much damage with it, his follow-up was really, really effective. Now, Stephano is taking his third gas now, has got his first and second one up and running, getting the rotor on as well. We'll be interested to see if Stephano does go for a evolution chamber. It's a bit later than it was in the first two matches, but I think he's just kind of metagaming Elfi a little bit. I don't think he's actually scouted. No, there's definitely no Stargate there, but I think he also knows that because he crushed it so well last time, that really early 2 Stargate, that he just doesn't need to rush it out because he doubts Elfi will go for it. But there goes the evolution chamber, so I mean, he would be safe. Also, the rush distance it's not close by air, so the air units would take just that fraction longer to get across. And the warp prism is coming out now for Elfi. He's getting down an extra gateway, only one at the moment though. It'll be interesting to see if he does grab that second one. There are 3 sentries, so he could be going for a sentry drop. +1 just now started. Zerging speed on its way. Lair is on its way down for Stephano as well. The creep spread for Stephano is actually really, really good. He's got his second and third base joined up, getting all this information around the top. He's got good overlord spread, so I mean, there the warp prism has been scouted, so straight away Stephano will probably start bringing some units up onto this high ground to prevent that sentry drop. Now, 1 sentry left behind, and that's really good. Just keeps that wall off complete. Only 1 cannon there. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now going into the Immortal build. And this is exactly what Elfi did to win game 1. He went that 1 gate into a robotics facility, getting the warp prism, and then getting 2 more gateways. But now he's actually getting 4 gateways. This overlord will go down, and it will temporarily supply block Stephano. Actually for quite a while. He's getting 7 more overlords now, so 1 dies but gets 7 more, so he definitely won't be getting supply blocked anytime soon after this. And Stephano has prepared for this amazingly. He's just brought up quite a few roaches and quite a few lings, so even if those sentries do go down, they'll get taken out quickly. 1 already dead, and I mean, losing sentries early on in the game is never what you want to happen. Meanwhile, Elfi has now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gate with a robotics facility. 6 gate there, 7, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways on 1 robotics facility. And there's a big push coming in here. The Immortal does actually get stuck outside, and this is going to be really effective. The Immortal going down is a big loss for Elfi at this point in the game. He has still got 1 Immortal there, and I mean, there's not too many roaches, but Stephano's just putting on the pressure now. He's just maxing out on roaches, getting as many as he can. +1 is coming down. Immortal getting target fired down. A great little bit of micro and pick up micro there by Elfi. So both Immortals will stay up, and I mean, Stephano is going to be forced back temporarily, but he's just maxing out. He's about to get roach speed, +1 ranged attack literally just finished, and I mean, he's going for it. He's going to try and end this game here and now. He's stopped droning completely. If we take a look at the drone count, he's only at 63, so isn't quite fully saturated. Some good force fields going off here, and the cybernetics core is going to go down, and good force fields still going in. That cannon doing quite a bit of damage. Obviously, the Immortal only not in range of those roaches. Quite a lot of zealots being morphed in, and the first gateway goes down. I mean, it's just zealots. That's all Elfi can get right now. It's not a great position to be in. He is got +1, and there are 3 Immortals now, and those 3 Immortals will be able to clean up these roaches incredibly quickly. But obviously they are getting focused down. Only 1 Immortal left now, but still Stephano has taken a lot of damage, quite considerable damage, and does actually manage to only get away with 3 roaches. In the meantime, behind this, he has got up his 4th base, and I mean, that really means that he is going to be able to go really quite crazy with this. A drop did try to go down there. I think he did manage to get some units in there, and a macro hutch down, and meanwhile in his main base, not too much going on, nothing too exciting. But if we take a look here, it's 66 drones now. Stephano not actually droning anymore, he's actually just maxing up on army. +2 range attack is on its way, getting quite a few more roaches out, and Elfi looks like he's just trying to move this position forward just to make it more defensive, and still he can only morph in. Actually, his cybernetics core has finished somewhere. Yeah, but he has got his cybernetics core up now, so he can get more sentries. I mean, there's just so many force fields there that Stephano won't be able to push up this ramp anytime soon. AcerElfi just does want to actually take out those rocks to be able to get a better arc. And some good force fields there, and Stephano actually bringing some roaches around the side as well. Just trapping 3, not the most you can get possibly, but I mean it's enough to make it, and a great little force field play there. Just completely trapping those roaches, taking them in nice bite-sized chunks. Meanwhile, just stopping these roaches from being able to come in the side. And AcerElfi is playing amazingly here. He's got a lot of pressure on him. Meanwhile, Stephano just pumping pure army, no drones. He's droned enough. He has 4 gases, and he is just going for it. Mass roachling. And I mean, it could be very effective. He's going for a nice round here. AcerElfi could be in trouble if this does manage to go in, but there's some great force fields there, but there's just too many roaches. They are trying to spread out. Meanwhile, there's nothing actually behind anymore. And AcerElfi has done a fantastic job of defending all this, but of course, AcerElfi is still stuck on those 2 bases to Stephano's 4. And the main base of AcerElfi is starting to get a little bit lower minerals, and it's now a waiting game. If AcerElfi doesn't take that 3rd base super quickly like he is trying to now, if that 3rd base gets taken out by Stephano, there's nothing else he can do. And Stephano is actually about to max out as well. A drop is going down here. Didn't actually manage to do much damage. The Queen is going to do quite a lot of damage to the Warp Prism, and it's good constant harassment. I mean, I'm just watching the action as it goes on, but even I'm missing those drops as they come in. So just Zealot Warpings are very, very effective, and it's really making the maximum use of that Warp Prism you got very early on. And Stephano looks like he's going to actually try and manage to get a surround here, and he's got units coming in from behind and also from the side. So this is just great kiting, trying to pull those units back, and here comes the surround. AcerElfi's in huge problems here. There's just so many roaches. They are completely surrounded. Some great force fields trying to stop the 2 angled attack, but there's just too much stuff here, and the Immortals are making short work of the roaches, but the roaches are obviously focus firing the Immortals to try and take them down. I mean, there's just so much stuff for Stephano here, although somehow AcerElfi's managing to slowly get rid of it, and this is an absolutely incredible play. Stephano is actually coming out worse here, I believe. There's just more stalkers coming in, and the roaches are cleaned up. Now, that really leveled things up. If we go and look at the loss tab, I mean, Stephano isn't playing this cost effective at all, but having said that, he has no need to. He's got 4 bases, and AcerElfi only just got up his 3rd. Getting loads of cannons there, which is obviously the right thing to do. Stephano has loads of money, and if we take a quick look at upgrades, it is 2-0, and I believe it's 0-0 for the Lings. So just 2 ranged attack, and again, this is a good defensive position for AcerElfi here. The cannons are very, very nicely placed. Got a 3rd cannon down as well, and obviously with the choke can be quite effective. The Lings are going to try and get the surround on the cannon. 1 goes down nearly instantly, 2nd one goes down so quickly to those +2 attack roaches. The force fields are absolutely brilliant. AcerElfi is really clinging to try and stay in this game, but Stephano's just got so many units. If you look down in the bottom left at the map, you can just see so many units streaming in, and AcerElfi's going to have a hard time holding this, and his 3rd base goes down. I mean, AcerElfi has to do something incredibly good here in order to be able to hold this, but there's just so many roaches, so many more units, and very, very cleverly Stephano bringing more units in round the back to get that full surround. Probes being used as that meat shield to the roaches, trying to allow the stalkers to do as much damage as possible, getting that nexus up again, and the nexus actually getting target fired. And the reason AcerElfi is just getting that nexus up while there's still all this fighting going on is because he needs it. If he doesn't get that nexus up, his main's pretty much mined out, and he'll just be on 1 base to Stephano's 4. Meanwhile, no drop is going on yet for AcerElfi, so I mean, he's managed to hold it so far, but obviously he held that with 3 cannons, which were all taken down, and a lot of units and quite a few Immortals. Now, obviously, there's no cannons and no Immortals, so if he still manages to hold this, it'll be fairly impressive. But AcerElfi just doing some great force fields there, managing to cut Stephano's army pretty much in half. Stephano using great control, just pulling those roaches back and target firing down that nexus. He knows if he stops that nexus going up, he's almost guaranteed to win the game, and he has managed to force the cancel. And I mean, Stephano is in such a great spot right now. He's so far ahead in this supply tab, but still somehow AcerElfi managing to hold on. This is just incredible defensive play by AcerElfi. Great force fields, but there's just so much stuff here for Stephano. All the sentries do appear to be out of energy, so there's no more force fields going down, so just trying to use the map as best he can. And really, this is an amazing display of determination from AcerElfi, but I think there may just be too much stuff here. Although, having said that, every time I think that AcerElfi's going to be out for the count, he's just not. He's still managing to hold this, trying to get this 3rd base up again, but AcerElfi's funds are running low. and his Stalker Ball's gone down quite considerably, got no more sentries, morphing 2 more in, but as it stands he's got a lot of problems, and again just this relentless assault from Stephano. Stephano's really got to find a way to end this, and the best way to do that is by taking out the base, and finally Elfi does GG, but congrats to Elfi for that commitment. I mean, that was just a real show of don't GG too soon, you might still be in for a chance. I mean, I thought Stephano was going to roll him about 2 or 3 attacks ago, but Elfi just showed that with perfect force fields you can just defend pretty much anything. So there we go, Stephano takes that series in the quarter-finals 2-1, and we'll now be going on to the semi-finals. Now, the semi-finals I probably won't be able to get to cast, or rather to upload, until Sunday, so I'll probably put the semi-finals and finals up tomorrow on Saturday night up to Sunday, so check in back for when those are up. If you want to keep an up-to-date time of when I do actually upload them, I will keep my Twitter feed updated for every new game I post, so that is at SC2_England. Give that a check out. If you enjoyed the video, please click subscribe and tune in again. Bye for now.